Hi everybody, this is Kim with Kim's Vinyl Expressions. Today we're going to stitch out a 2-pocket zipper bag by A Creative Medley. This is what the bag looks like and the material that I used. There's 2 zippers here with a liner, and it goes all the way to the bottom. And the second one is the same, and it goes all the way to the bottom. There's liner separating the both of them, so you don't have to worry about anything getting mixed up together. This is the back. This is optional if you're going to make a strap for it. It's pretty big. I actually like it. I like the stippling on there, everything. It's really, really neat. I think I'm gonna do this one for the video a little different. I think I want to add my monogram onto the one that I'm doing, so I'm gonna do that as well. This comes in a 7x11, a 6x10, and a 5x7. Today we're gonna stitch this out in the 6x10 hoop. You'll need your fabric, 2 zippers 9 inches or larger, 2 D-hooks if you want to make a strap for it, tearaway stabilizer, and I'm going to show you everything that you need. I already pre-cut everything, so let's go take a look at that. So here is everything that you're going to need. I pre-cut everything. You have your 6x10 hoop with tearaway stabilizer. You have your 2 zippers, 9-inch or longer. You have your 2 little ends for the D-hooks. You have your batting, which I marked everything here. This is the batting back, which is a 12x8. The batting bottom, 5.5x8. And then we have 2 pieces of batting top for the middle, which is 2x8, and there's 2 pieces because you needed 2 of those. This is my main fabric, and I marked all that there. Outer back 12x8, outer bottom 7x8, outer mid 3.5x8, outer top 2.5x8, and this is your liner. The lining back 12x8. Lining middle 9.25x8, lining bottom 7x8, bottom back for the lower back pocket is 6.75x8, and then the lining top, which is 2.5x8. Okay, so now that you've seen everything we need to do this bag, I did leave 2 things out. If you are going to attach a strap, you will need 2 D-hooks, or you can use key rings, the round rings if you want to, but I like these best. And then you'll need something like this for the ends of the strap. And I don't have the strap made yet, but just say this is the end of the strap. You'll just stick that in there, and then you'll just sew the strap like you normally would. And then this will just clip on to that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start. I'm just going to show you all the steps. I'm going to bypass the actual stitching because it'll take the video will be extremely long if we sit through all the stitching. So we're just going to go bypass that, and we'll go step by step and show you how to create this bag. All right, so let's head on over to the machine. So this is what it looks like on my machine. It's 26 steps, and that's probably because I added my name. My monogram. So the first step we're going to do is the placement stitch for the bag, and then the second step is going to be the placement stitch for the zipper. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch those 2 out, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I did the placement stitch for the bag and the zipper, but because of the color of the thread that I'm using, you can't see it all that well, but you can see it goes around here, for the bag. And then for the zipper, it's right here. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take your zipper, whatever zipper you're going to use, and you're going to put it between the two lines for the zipper. There's two lines for the placement stitch, so you're going to want to put it in between those. You want the ends hanging out and the zipper on this side. And then you're going to whether you tape it down or pin it down, which I don't pin, I tape. I use painter's tape. So I'm going to tape this down and then put it back in the machine, and it's going to tack it down. And we'll be right back. So we went ahead and tacked down the zipper. You can see here, it's all tacked down all the way. And now we're going to do another placement stitch for the zipper up here and tack that down as well, and we'll be right back. Okay, so now that we got the two zippers tacked down, what we're going to do is turn the hoop over. We're going to take the bottom liner, the 7x8, and we're going to put it face down, right side face down, which I know it's hard to tell with this one, but I can tell. And we're going to put it right side face down, and what you want to line it up with the bottom of the bottom zipper. So we're going to go ahead and just line that up like so, and then secure it into place. You can use pins, you can use tape, whichever is easier for you. I use tape. So we're going to go ahead and tape that down. Make sure it's in place. And then turn your hoop back over. And then you're going to take the outer bottom 7x8 of your outside fabric. And you're going to do the same thing. Excuse me. Okay. So you're going to take your fabric and you're going to put it right side down. Same thing you did with the lining. Same thing. Line it up with the bottom of the zipper and secure it into place like so. Okay, so I use pins for the front but not for the back. So, well, that was weird. Okay, so we'll go ahead and pin this into place, and I'll just pin it outside the stitch line like that, so it's lined up with the bottom of the zipper. Okay, so like so. And remember, this is the top, so you want face down this way. Okay, so now that that's in place, make sure that's still in place, and now we'll go ahead and take it to the machine, and it'll stitch a line right here on the bottom of the zipper, and it'll secure the liner and this piece into place, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and stitched this down. So we have the bottom, front, and the liner. And let me just go ahead and take this tape off. Well, this never sticks that good. Okay, so we've got that. And what we're going to do is you want to make sure to leave this liner up in place, which I'll wind up tacking it back down to make sure. But we're going to take your batting, your bottom, let's see, here we go. Okay, so your batting bottom, the 5.5x8, you can go ahead and put this here, just right underneath, right underneath the stitch line, like so. We'll take the pins out of here. And then we're going to Make sure that's lined up good. And we're going to fold this down like so. And then we're going to pin this down. Going to pin this down with the batting underneath. And I like to pull it, make sure it's pretty snug. And we'll just put these pins to secure it. Okay, so we got that pinned down with the batting underneath. You want to make sure that that this does not come down. Just make sure it stays in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take 2 pieces of tape and just put it on the ends over here to make sure it stays in place. I use a lot of tape, and you'll notice that. Okay, so we'll go ahead, put this now back onto the machine and tack this down, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we got the stippling and my my monogram done. So the next step, what we're going to do is turn your hoop over. You're going to take this liner here and fold it down, and you can pin that into place or tape it into place. And as usual, I'm going to tape it into place until I get some flat pins. If you hear any outside noise, I apologize. It's beautiful out and breezy, and I have my windows open in my office. Okay, so next we're going to take your bottom back for your lower back, your back lower pocket, and you're going to attach that to the top line of your bottom zipper face down like that, and you're going to line it up. And just like, I can't even see today. Just like that. Okay. And then you're going to go ahead and secure that into place. And that'll be covering the top of the bottom zipper on the bottom of the hoop. So we're going to go ahead and tape this into place. Just like that. And then what I'm going to do is take a pin, and I'm going to just pin this here, so this is all held into place in the back like that. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this back to the machine, and it's going to run another stitch right here to secure this into place. Okay, we're back. I had a little mishap with my machine, so I had to fix it. So we went ahead and tacked down this liner here, and I'm not worried about the tape here because it's going to be inside, and this is for me anyway, so I'm not worried about it. The next 2 pieces that we're going to use is the middle lining, which is the 9 1/4 by 8, and your outer mid fabric, which is the 3 1/2 by 8. And what we're going to do with this is we are going to put it right way down, but you're going to put it on the bottom, line it up with the bottom of the top zipper. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'll put it just like that and secure it into place. However you're going to do that. And I think I'm going to use tape on this too. My machine's been giving me a fit today for some reason. I'm not sure why. But I'm only going to tape this one on the ends here like that. I ordered some flat head pins, so hopefully I'll have that on Saturday. I use way too much tape when I can just use pins, and I can't put the pins I have on the bottom of the hoop. So this is what I do. Okay, so we did this along the bottom of the zipper, and we're going to do the same thing in the front with the outer mid piece. And you're also going to do this face down, and make sure that it's facing up, because we're going to wind up pulling this down too. So we're going to line this up with the bottom of the zipper like that. And now I'll go ahead and pin these in. Make sure I had that the right way. I didn't want the words upside down. Okay. Got that lined up. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pin this into place. Oops. Okay, got that side. And then we'll do this side. And at the same time, I'm also securing the bottom in too. I'm putting that into the pin as well. Making sure not stick my finger. Okay, so we got that like so. And we'll go ahead and tack this down. It'll tack this down, and it'll tack this down. And you'd want to leave the bottom in place. You don't need to touch that right now. So we'll go ahead and get this tacked down, and we'll be right back. So I went ahead and tacked this down, which it also did back here. And what we're going to do at this time is we're not going to touch this liner. We're just going to leave it where it is. Turn this over. Going to take these pins out of here, and we're going to take one of the middle top batting, the 2x8. We're going to use one of these right now, and we're going to put it right here. And just line it up with, like, right under the stitching, just like we did down here. And we're going to fold this over like so, and then we're going to pin this down. Oop. Okay, that's kind of weird. Ooh. Ooh, it's getting really windy in here. Put that down like that. And then pin that. I like to make sure all my stuff is snug. So I'm going to do that. And then we'll pin this side. Ooh, I don't know if you can hear that wind. I'm going to have to close these windows in a second. I think I keep hitting the zipper. Alright. So we got this. We're going to go ahead and get this tacked down. And we'll be right back. Alright, so we went ahead and did the stitching along here. And tack down only goes halfway. And the reason for that is, if you're anything like me, I always cut my fabrics bigger than what I need, just in case of any issues. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this fabric, and I'm going to cut just a little bit off, because this is a little too long. And you just have to use your judgment on this part. I know I cut it bigger than what I needed. So that's kind of okay. So what we're going to do, because this only stitched down halfway, and the reason for that is we're going to take your fabric and fold it underneath to cover that batting like that. And you just have to play with it until you have it where you want it. That's a little too short, so I'm going to do, I can feel the batting folding up in there. My other one was so even. I can't get this one so even. But this is just for me, and I'll be happy with it either way. But you want to just play with it until you get it to where you like it. I'm trying to get it to match up with the spacing I have on this one, which I'm getting a little close. But you'll just have to play with yours, and I believe this side is okay now. Yeah, I'm okay with this side right now. So I'm going to pin this into place. And then I have very bad OCD, so I have to have everything perfect, and I'm not perfect, and I try to be, and it kills me when I'm not. But I think I'm gonna keep it just like that. I'm happy with that. Looks okay to me. And like I said, this is for me. If this is for somebody else, I would be more harder on myself. But this is going to be mine. So just going to go ahead and pin this down. Nope. Get back under there. I want to make sure it's snug. Ow. Okay. So, like that. Put this back that way. So you can see that it's covered the batting, and it's going to be right on the zipper just like the bottom here. So we're going to go ahead and put this back on the machine and get this tacked down. Okay, so we can see that it was tacked down. And now what we're going to do is go ahead and do the stipling here. So we got this portion done, the stipling done. What we're going to do now is, let me get the other piece. We're going to use the 2.5 by 8 top lining and the 2.5 by 8 outer top piece. And what we're going to do first is kind of what we did with everything else, except this. We are going to we're going to pull this down, and we're going to pin that into place. So I'm going to take this out, put this pin back, make sure that's in place. We don't want that to move. Okay, and with the top lining here, Same thing as what we did before. I'm trying to find, it's hard to see which is the right way. We're going to, hold on. So we're going to take the material, put it right along the top of the zipper, and you're going to face it so it's covering the, you're going to put it so it's covering the whole zipper. And you're going to just do that. Pin it or tape it into place, which obviously I'm going to tape into place. Okay, so that's holding that into place. And then we're going to do with the same with the outer top. I try to find the straighter edge. And we're going to put it face down, right face down. And we're going to line it up with the top of the zipper. And I'll pin this. Okay, like that. Right, and then we're gonna go put this back in the machine and tack them all down. All right, so we got that tacked down. So what we're gonna do is the same as before. We're going to take the other piece of the 2x8 batting, and we're gonna do just what we did before. Lay it right just under the stitching. We're going to fold this up like so. And we're going to pin that into place. You're not going to do anything with the liner in the back as of right now. You'll still leave it pinned down. So I got that. I think this is such a cute design. I like it. And this is actually the first one that I've ever done with 2 zippers. I usually do a lot of 1 zipper bags, but I really, really like this design. Okay, so we got that tacked down. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put this back in the machine. We're gonna tack this down, and then we're gonna do the stippling on the top here, and I'll be back when that's done. All right, so we got all this done. So what we're gonna do now is turn your hoop over. We're going to take this top liner and fold it up here, and we're gonna pin it or tape it into place until we need it. Want to get that out of the way. Then let me take this pin out. So you're just going to lift your layers until you get to the bottom zipper. I'm gonna take this tape off anyway. So we have those, and here is the bottom zipper right where the last lining is, and we're gonna cut out the stabilizer from here. And what I do is I just take my X-Acto knife and I just find the stitching on the end because I don't want to cut all that, and then I just go really slow along the line here. I like the stabilizer because it tears away so much easier than see that? And the stabilizer has a lot of holes in it, so it makes it, it's a very lightweight stabilizer, and I only use it for certain things. And that's it. And just rip it away. Oh, get that done. Then we're going to fold all the layers back down. I'm going to lay the layers back down, except for the top one. And we're going to do the connectors, which is, I should have my stuff over here, which are these. So we're going to pin this back into place here. So much garbage on my desk. Ooh. Try this again. So we're going to pull all three of these back down. We're going to leave this one up here, and we're going to pin these back into place. Like that. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do a placement stitch here for these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fabric and I'm going to stick it in here, and then we're going to just like have that like that. But I'm going to go ahead and run the placement stitch here, and then we'll be back to show you what to do with the connector. Okay, went ahead and did a placement stitch. It runs from here to about here. I have a still picture that I'll put in the video to show you, and I'll circle it. We have the placement stitch here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to tape it just a little above the line. I want to try and keep it as even as possible and centered between where the line starts and ends. So we're going to do that. And no, I don't want to use this tape. We'll use the painter's tape. Where is my painter's tape? Oh, okay. So we'll use the painter's tape. And I'll just do that. And you want to make sure that the D-ring or whatever you're going to use is facing down. And that looks about okay to me. And then I'm going to tape this like that. And then what this is going to do, this is going to run the tack down stitch here. And then the next step, we're going to do another placement stitch here. And then tack down the other D-ring on this side. And I'll be back when that's done. All right, so we got the connectors in place. They're sewn in. Now, at this time, you're going to take your zipper and you're going to open it. I usually do mine like 3/4 of the way. But you don't want to do it where the pull is going to get hooked over here. So you do it about 3/4 of the way. And then we're going to take the 12x8 outer back, and you're going to put it right side down and cover the entire, make sure the entire bag is covered. And then we're going to take the 12x8 back batting, and we're going to lay that down. And then take this over to the machine. I'm not going to pin this down. I'm just going to hold this with my hands. If your embroidery machine has the option of raising the presser foot, go ahead and do that, because where we did the connectors over here, it's going to get a little clumpy, and I don't want you to rip something off. So if you can, raise your presser foot. Mine is usually on 1.5, but I'm going to raise it to 2.5 on here, and we'll be right back. So I went ahead and tacked this down. And what you're going to do now is just leave that in place. And, oops, I forgot to take my pin out of there. Okay, and I'm going to turn this over. And you're going to take the last piece of lining back, the 12 by 8. And you're going to put it face down. And secure it into place however you want to do that. And I think at this time I am going to use tape as usual. So we'll just tape this into place and then I'll pin it from the front. Just want to make sure everything is held down good, and I think I should be okay there. Okay, and I'm just gonna tape the, pin the top over here just as a double secure. And do it as close to the top as you can so you know you're not gonna be inside the last stitch of the bag. Okay, so this is going to be the last stitch of the bag. It's going to stitch down everything, and then we'll be back. Okay, so we have this all stitched together. We're going to go ahead and take it out of the hoop. Take my tape off here. I don't think, well, it doesn't even matter. Okay, so what we're going to do at this time is we are going to cut all around here. Just making sure everything is correct here. Sorry, had a little technical difficulty there. Okay, so what we're going to do, we are going to cut around here. But when you get to the bottom here, I want to leave a little extra, and I'll show you why. So we'll just go ahead and start cutting that. And you want to leave like some type of margin. I don't leave that much because I don't like it bulky. But you don't want to cut too close to the stitching because then it can come apart. And then you're just going to cut over the zippers. The ends of the zippers will be cut off. And the same on this side. Depending on your scissor, it can be a little hard to get over the zipper. Okay, and I like to do these corners like that. It's easier when I try to get the corners out. Okay, rip that off. So you see, oop, well, there's an opening there. So what I want to do is I want to leave some here. Don't cut it straight across like you did this, because you can at the end when you're done, you can either do a ladder stitch to close it up, or you can use fabric glue, which is what I do. It's easier for me. And this is for me anyway, so I don't care. But I'm going to use fabric glue on this particular one. So I just cut a little bit in here to just the end of the stitch lines here. I cut that off. Oop. Sometimes I can't get those ends. And so you can see how much is left here, but I am going to just cut a little more off there. Like that. Okay, so we have, let me move all this garbage. Okay, so this is what we're left with. This is the bottom. So what you're going to do is take this, and you need to turn this right side out. So what I try to do, and be careful that you don't tear any of the stitches, and you just do however you need to do to get it right side out. I always have a hard time turning things right side out, but I'm trying to do it so I don't tear any of the stitching. And once I get a little bit, then I can finish the rest. All right, there we go. And there's a big enough hole left on here, so you can do that and hopefully don't have any issues. Okay, so when you do that, however you do it, and take those corners out. Okay, got that one. Okay, so that's, after we pull it through, that's what we're left with. And then you're going to come here, and you're going to, again, cut the stabilizer without cutting your fabric, or however you need to take your stabilizer out. This is how I do mine. I just cut across and then just rip it out here. And I try to get as much of it as I can, because I can't stand opening up a bag and seeing something that's not supposed to be there. And the wind is blowing everything. Okay, so we did that. And now we're gonna open the zipper here. Now I don't want to pull it closed, I want to open it. Why isn't it opening? Well, I'll fix that in a second. Okay. So you go ahead and open up that zipper. And then you're going to turn this inside out. And I try to get those corners right there before I do anything else. Okay, and then we're going to pull the rest here. And at this time, I'm just going to show you this. This is where I would glue it. I would just cut it a little shorter, which I'm going to do that now because I'm going to wind up gluing it later because it takes a little bit for the glue to dry. So I just want to show you this. I'll turn it back inside out after I show you. So just say this is glued or however you're going to close it up. You're going to then turn again inside, right side out, like so. And get those corners out as best as you can. Like that. And that's that zipper. And then I'll just cut off my tails here from my monogram, which I forgot to do before. Okay, there's your liner there. Your bottom pocket, your top pocket goes all the way up to here on my arm. Pretty good size. But that's it for the bag. And I think it's really cute. Now I just have to get my strap done. And then there you go. So that is how we make the 2-zipper bag. It's very cute. It's a lot of different pieces, but once you do it, it's just very easy. And that's it. I mean, you can make your strap. You don't have to have these. You can choose not to even use a strap, but that is entirely up to you. I will put the link to the design in the description of the video, and any other information of the different parts and pieces that I've used to make the bag. And if you have any questions, please comment on the video. Subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of more videos coming, and hope to see you soon. Have a good day.